Okay, today's video we're going to learn about order of operations. This might be a review for some of you. If not, then order of operations are like the 10 commandments in mathematics. Very important that you know the order that things need to be performed. So that's our learning target today. Simplify expressions by following the order of operations. What are the order of operations? Well, we know that we think of them as PEMDAS. That helps us remember the order that we do things, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. What I want to do right now is just clarify the difference between the two ways these are written. I'm sure you've seen this written on the board by some math teacher in the past, and that math teacher totally misled you because it should not be written like this. Why should PEMDAS not be written like this? Well, parentheses definitely come before exponents, and exponents definitely come before multiplication. However, multiplication does not have to come before division. Sometimes division can come before multiplication. So you don't always multiply before you divide, alright? How do you know which one needs to be performed first? Well, you're just going to do whichever one comes first from left to right. And the same thing is true about addition and subtraction. Addition does not always come before subtraction. Sometimes subtraction comes first. It just depends on which one comes first from left to right. So very important that you understand that going forward as we simplify these expressions. Let's go ahead and start with example number 1. So here we have negative 1 minus 5 in parentheses times that little dot is multiplication, 24 divided by 8 minus a negative 6. So I'm going to start with looking for parentheses. Here we have a set of parentheses. And within that set, we only have one operation. We have this operation of subtraction. So we're just going to go ahead and simplify that subtraction. Negative 1 minus 5. Here I owe $1 and I owe 5, so total I owe $6. When you have money, the number is positive. When you owe money, the number is negative. Sorry, so I owe $1 and I owe $5, so total I owe $6. Okay, so that's one way of thinking about sign numbers if that's something that is been difficult for you. Times 24 divided by 8 minus a negative 6. You'll see that I'm going to go line by line, so that way I don't make a mistake and subtract or add before I should multiply. Okay, so now what do I do next? I've got multiplication, division, and then this is a double sign, which is also multiplication. But I'm going to start with the multiplication that comes first when I go from left to right. So this is the operation that I've focused on. Multiplying negative 6 by 24. I'm going to go ahead and use a calculator to do this. So I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to type in a negative 6 times 24, and I get a negative 144. So we can go ahead and write negative 144 divided by 8 minus a negative 6. Okay? Now, division comes before this multiplication because it's the first operation from left to right. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this division. Use the calculator again. I already have negative 144 in. Now I just need to divide it by 8. So I'm going to divide it by 8. And I get a negative 18. So we can go ahead and simplify this to a negative 18. Now we have minus a negative 6. What I want to do real quickly is explain to you why this is multiplication. When you have signs that are touching each other, they're being multiplied. And there's 4 combinations that you know of when it comes to multiplying signs. Can't spell. The first combination is when you multiply a positive number by a positive number. What do you get? You get a positive number. The second combination is when you multiply a positive number by a negative number, you get a negative number. What happens when you multiply a negative number by a positive number? You get a negative number. And then the last combination is when you multiply a negative number by a negative number, you get a positive number. Very important to point out that when these signs are the same, the outcome is positive. When the signs are different, the outcome is negative. So here we have 2 signs that are the same, so we know that the outcome is positive. So we can rewrite this as negative 18 plus 6. Now we can go ahead and simplify. We owe 18, we have 6. We know that we're going to owe money. How much are we going to owe? We're going to owe 12 after we pay in the 6 to the 18. Example number 2. Real quickly, I'm going to add parentheses right here, as there should be parentheses right there. Okay? So we have parentheses, and then within parentheses, we've got multiplication. This right here is multiplication. I can put a little dot if I want to. When you don't see operating signs, the operation is multiplication. So we've got multiplication, we've got more parentheses, and then within parentheses, we've got addition. So we're going to start with the smallest set of parentheses, since parentheses comes before multiplication. We can go ahead and simplify this to 2, oops, sorry, 2 negative 10 plus 3 is a negative 7, divided by negative 7 squared. Okay, and now we can go ahead and simplify the multiplication. See, I almost forgot the 2 is being multiplied. Now we can go ahead and simplify the multiplication. So, very easy mistake to make, right? I could have easily subtracted those right there, and I would have been wrong, so good thing I caught that before I did it. And those are going to simplify to a negative. Positive times negative is negative. 2 times 7 is 14. Divided by negative 7 squared. Now I want you to make just a quick note, because we've got an exponent. And there's some important things that you need to know about exponents to avoid mistake. And what you need to know is when typing it in the calculator, make sure that the negative is not included in parentheses if it's not included in parentheses. So negative signs in parentheses are included with the exponent. So this negative sign is not in parentheses, so it is not included with the exponent. So let's go ahead and simplify the exponent now. We'll pull up the calculator, go ahead and clear, and then I'm going to type it in just as it is. Negative 7 with no parentheses, squared equals negative 49. So I can go ahead and rewrite this as negative 14 divided by a negative 49. So you're probably wondering, like, why I made a big deal about that. The reason I made that a big deal is because sometimes you'll see the negative in parentheses. So the difference between having the negative on the outside and having it on the inside is astronomical. So negative 7 with the negative in parentheses squared is actually positive 49. Big difference in life between owing somebody $49 and actually having it. Alright? So that's why we've got to pay attention to where that negative is when we have exponents. Now, our last step is to divide. Negative 14 divided by a negative 49. So we've got actually a fraction here. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as negative 14 divided by a negative 49. We can't divide 49 into 14, so we've got to simplify the fraction. When simplifying fractions, we've got to figure out a number that is divisible into both the numerator, which is the top number, and the denominator, which is the bottom number. So what number goes into 14 and also into 49? Hopefully you said 7. We can divide both of these, by 7. So we're going to divide the top by 7 and the bottom by 7. Negative 14 divided by 7 is negative 2. Negative 49 divided by 7 is negative 7, I'm pretty sure. Yep, expression error. Try it again. Negative 7. Okay, so we've simplified the fraction. Now we just have to finish it off by simplifying the signs. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So we've got 2 over 7. Done. Cool? Sweet. Alright, example number 3. We're going to go ahead and skip example number 3 and do example number 4. So example number 4 is actually example number 3. I'll go ahead and cross it out so that you don't get confused. That sometimes happens. Boom. Example number 3. Alright, example number 3. Different. We've got two sets of parentheses that are not within each other. So just like addition and subtraction or multiplication and division, we're going to start with simplifying the set of parentheses that comes first from left to right. This set right here. The first thing that we can do inside this set of parentheses is our exponents. And we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to simplify this exponent because it comes first from left to right. So we've got 4 squared. What is 4 squared simplified to? 16 times negative 2 squared. Hopefully you put it in parentheses this time since it's in parentheses. You should get a positive 4. A lot of students would say negative 4 here because they see a negative and think it's negative. It's not. It's not negative. Negative 4 times negative 4, positive. Okay, divided by, I'm going to go ahead and write this out again just so that we keep things nice and neat. Now we've got to finish off this parentheses right here. We can go ahead and multiply 16 by 4. I'm going to type that in real quick. 16 by 4, 16 times 4 equals 64. Okay, cool. Divided by, and now we can focus on simplifying the parentheses within the parentheses. So this parentheses right here. What does that simplify to? We've got negative 8 minus negative 9. We're going to focus on simplifying the double sign. So actually we have negative 8 plus 9 times negative 1. And then we can go ahead and simplify the addition. So we've got 64 divided by a positive 1 times a negative 1. And we know that a positive 1 times a negative 1 is a negative 1. And we know that 64 divided by 1 is 64. And a positive divided by negative is a negative. So we've got a negative 64. Okay? Now I'm going to bounce back to example number 3, which is actually example number 4. So I'm going to cross this out. Now what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to do this on your own. When you replay the video, you'll see this entire thing worked out with the order that I did it in. So let's see if you can do this independent. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, so you can see the first thing that I did was look in parentheses, simplify the multiplication of double signs. Then I still have parentheses that turned into addition, so I added them together. I got a positive 7. Then I focused on the exponents. I typed in negative 5 in parentheses, and I got a positive 25. Negative 5 times itself is a positive 25. Then I saw that there was addition, multiplication, and addition, and I multiplied. I made sure that this was a positive 7 times a negative 6, and the outcome was a negative 42. Then I did my subtraction before the addition because it came first from the left to the right, and I got a negative 38. Added that up to 25, and I got a negative 13. Okay, so this is the last example today. Go ahead and pause the video right now. Okay, so you can see the first thing that I did was simplify the subtraction within the parentheses, which was in the parentheses. Then I simplified the multiplication of double signs right here to plus. Then I added them together and I got a 12. I made sure that this negative that was on the outside got brought down. So really it got multiplied and became a negative 12. Then I did the exponent. There was 2 of them, so I chose to do the one that came first from left to right. I made sure when I typed it in the calculator, I did not put the negative in parentheses. So I got a negative 36. Then I simplified the other exponent. This one I did put in parentheses, and I got a positive 4. Then I did the division, because that comes before the subtraction and the addition. I got a negative 2. I subtracted, got a negative 38, then added that to the 4, and got a negative 34. Good luck on the problem set. Please message me or any of your peers in Schoology if you are stuck or need some assistance.